MSSQ4. Here we have multiple choice questions. The first one talks about the interest rate for the amount in a year, which is 7.2%, if the category is at least 10. So the keyword here is if, and find the total interest. So we have to write equals if here. It's very simple because there is a condition there. Click fx. Logical test is the condition. So read again the scenario, the question here. If the category is at least 10, so that is our condition. That means we have to select the first category, only the first category, because when we drag it down later, it's going to change automatically for 10 and 15 and so on if we have other numbers. So the technique is just to select the first and follow the condition. It is at least 10. That's greater than or equal to 10. That's the meaning of at least. If I say at most is less than or equal to that number. And the next one is the value if true. The value if true is here, 7.2% of the amount. So that's the outcome. 7.2% times the amount. The first amount is here. Okay, sometimes we cannot see it properly because it's covered, but it is there. Just select it, and value false is 0. So let me have a space here so you can see. Again, equals if fx, logical test. The category is at least 10. The first category is 5. You select that, greater than or equal to 10. And value if true, that is 7.2% times the amount. It's mentioned here. So we select the first amount. And value if false means this is the value if the condition is not met. So 0. Okay, and drag it down. So these are the values. As you can see here, 5 does not meet the condition because it's at least 10, so it's 0. 10 meets the condition, so there is an interest there, and 15 as well, so there is an interest. So equals sum, because we have to get the total. Highlight the values. That's 360, so the answer is 360 there. Answer is D. Here we're going to find the number of subsets. The formula is 2 raised to the power of n. N is the number of elements. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So equals 2 raised to the power of 7. Answer is 128. That's B. Here, the answer is tautology is always true. Always false is contradiction. Neither a contradiction nor a tautology is contingency. Here we have to multiply inside. We have not outside. So not times x is not x. And the union will become the opposite because you have not outside. It becomes intersection. If it was intersection, the opposite is union. Then not times y is not y. So the answer is letter D. Here, we're going to find the x if the total number of students who have exactly 2, okay, biscuit base, caramel, or snack size is 100. So exactly 2, these are the sections 3, 13, and x. Okay, that's the meaning of exactly 2. 3 here is exactly this one, the biscuit base and caramel. 13 is exactly the snack size and biscuit base. X is exactly the caramel and the snack size and caramel. So to get the answer equals 100 minus 3 minus 13, because the total is 100. So we have to subtract these two. Answer is 84. So 84 plus 3 plus 13 equals 100. So the answer is B. Here we have to convert from base 10 to base 8. Let's start with a whole number. The whole number is 101. So that is equals decimal to octal. So DEC to OCT, because from base 10 to base 8 is octal, base 10 is decimal. And here we have to write the whole number, which is 101. Enter, the answer is 145. That's for the whole number. Now for the decimal part, you can copy this decimal part, save time, escape, and paste it here, Control V. That is our decimal value. Multiply by the base on the right, base 8. If this was 16, multiply by 16. If this was 2, multiply by 2. So let's have more space here. So equals this decimal number times 8, because you have 8 here. Enter. And now you take the decimal. So this is entirely decimal. So we can write 0.14, 0625. You have to write all the digits. Equals, select that decimal times 8 again until you get a whole number. So here we have to copy the decimal number only, 0.125. Enter. So equals this times 8 again. So here we got 1. So we have to stop here because the answer is a whole number. So we cannot stop if the answer is not a whole number. Now, if you keep on doing it and it seems like it's not stopping, so it means that it is infinite. So just write 3 dots. Okay. You will notice that one, it will always give you a decimal number no matter what you do. So you have to decide, you have to stop somewhere. So the final answer is 145. You have to combine. The whole number is 145 point. Here, take only the whole numbers. So 0, 1, and 1. So 0, 1, 1. So this is the final answer, which is letter A. Here we have B. Okay, here the answer is proposition. Proposition is also called a statement. It is a sentence that can be true or false. So the answer is D. And here, what is the equivalent of K intersection universal set? The answer is K. If I'm going to say K union universal set, the answer is universal set. So for intersection, it's going to come back to the original set. If it is union, it's going to be absorbed by the universal set. Okay, here we're going to find the complement of the quantity of the group C union B. It means that we're going to delete because complement outside means not. So we're going to delete C and B. So what is the remaining? The remaining elements are 2 and 1. So the answer is A. Okay. And here, two matrices can be subtracted if the dimensions of the matrices are equal. So we can only add or subtract if the dimensions are equal. Multiplication, we can multiply if the number of columns of the first matrix is equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So for multiplication, the number of columns of the first matrix should be equal to number of rows of the second. Okay, for example, we have 3 by 2 times 2 by 2. So here, 2 is the number of columns of the first matrix, equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. 2 is the number of rows of the second matrix, and here 2 is the number of columns of the first matrix. So please remember this. Okay, let's proceed now to this Q4. This one is multiple choice. Here we have to find the variance and standard deviation. So when you are asked to find the variance and standard deviation, first get the px, then x squared. Okay, so you have to get px and or p of x and x squared. So p of x, we have to get first the sum of this because we have numbers here, number of students taking modules. Okay, 1 module, 2 modules, and 7 modules. So some students are taking only 1 module, 200 students. Some are taking more modules, 5, 6, or 7 modules. We have many students there. And also 4 modules. So sum of these. So the sum is 2626. This is only in the Faculty of IT in one university in Philippines. So we need to find the PMF. PMF is the P of X. These are the probabilities. So to get this, we need to divide each number by this. So the first one equals 200 divide 2626. So you have to get only the first one and select and drag it to the right. Okay, so very simple. Equals the first number divide 2626. Okay, and select, go to the right, drag to the right. Now x squared equals the x shift 62. We are squaring the x and drag it to the right. So the squares of these numbers. So now we can get our mean. Our mean is the EX. That's our mean or the average. Or the expected value. The expected value is the mean. So the formula is x times px or p of x. So equals sum product. We select the x, comma, the p of x. Okay, so this is summation here. Don't forget summation of x times px. So that is why here we have sum product. We select first the x, comma, select the p of x, the probabilities, enter. So that's 4 point something. So the average number of modules taken by the students is 4 to 5 modules. So we can press Control 1 and alignment, wrap, and merge to put this in one box or one cell. This is the average number of modules taken by the students, which is 4 to 5 modules. because we have 4.75. So most of the students are here. There are 1,050 students there. Okay. So this method is very applicable actually. We're able to identify the expected number or the average or the mean using sum product. Summation of the X row multiplying the P of X coming from number of students. Now the EX squared is given here, summation of X squared times PX. So similarly, we can use sum product. We select the X squared. That's the purpose of the X squared, comma. We have P of X. So this is the EX squared. The variance is EX squared minus EX squared. So the EX inside is the mean. Okay, so equals this, that is our EX squared, minus this one is the mean. Okay, this one shift 6-2 because we have here square. So basically the variance is the EX squared minus the mean squared. So please remember EX here is our mean. And then standard deviation, I wrote the formula here, square root of the variance. So equals square root SQRT of the variance. Select the variance and enter. So that is our standard deviation. Standard deviation is like the average distance from the mean. Okay, so it's 1.8. It's not very far. The mean is 4 point something. So it means that, if you're going to get the approximate or the large proportion of the students taking various modules, it would be the mean plus 1.8. So that is like 6.5 approximately, and minus that. Okay, so you can get where is the main concentration of the data. So it's like mean minus standard deviation. I did not ask this. And mean plus standard deviation. Okay. So mean minus, so the mean is this minus standard deviation. And the other one is the mean plus standard deviation. 6.6, 6.5 something. So approximately like 2.8 or 3 to 6.6. So 3 to 7. So most of the students are taking 3 to 6 point something, that is 7 modules. That's the meaning of that. But I did not ask this. This is just, additional information. This will be covered in our next lesson in statistics, where we find the mean minus 1 standard deviation and mean plus standard deviation. So that's it for this questions, Q4 MCQ and Q4. So until the next time, bye-bye.